What's going on, guys? So I want to take a little look at Tesla. So what I'm looking at here on Tesla and what I want to talk about is losing those consolidation hours lows. Okay, if you don't understand what that means, this is the hourly time frame. What we're looking at here is two things. The first thing that we're looking at is the first 30 minutes of the day session. So for me on Thinkorswim, when I pull up the 20-day 1 hour time frame chart, it's going to include the first 30 minutes of pre-market as well as the first 30 minutes of the market open, and then my first hour candle is going to close. If your brokerage is a little bit different, maybe you can use the 30-minute time frame chart. So there's two potential short trades that should have been taken and should have been watched with Tesla. So we already know that in order for me to go long, we need to take out the first hour candles highs. What are those first hour candles highs? Those first hour candles highs on Tesla was going to be 772. That was going to give us room into 786. And then 786 was the macro break to the long side. With that being said, we never got into that range. You can see here that as soon as we kind of opened up off the open today, we kind of just started to flush, got a little bit of a bounce. So we put in these initial lows here of around 744, 745. And then we got the confirmation here at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Got that nice flush from 744 down to 731. Now that was trade one. You should have been in there. You should have been out of there. You're never looking to catch the whole move. What you want to catch is a little piece of the pie, meaning you have a technical level here from the first hour's lows at 745. You want to take the confirmation here. You can see that we got rejected off the 20 SMA. We never took out the first hour's highs. We should not even be thinking long here on this kind of trade for Tesla. With that being said, there's a way to have played this long off that first hour candles lows. When we held and then we started to bounce into the 20, you could have taken a little hyper scalp here, but again, you don't know where that thing can stop. It can stop at any point in time. The pressure was still to the downside until you get over those pre-market highs, that first hour highs, and get back over the 20 here. Now, when we did get this next flush to 732, 731, we got 1-2 hours of consolidation here. So what I had kind of called out in the Discord here is I kind of put these lows here of around 732. I said, if Tesla breaks these, past previous 2 hours lows here, potentially you can get a flush. So if we kind of look at the 5-minute time frame and see what it was doing on a little bit more of a smaller time frame kind of deal here, you can see we had these lows. I put my trend line in. We did get a bounce to the 20, to the 200, stayed below. This was a 20 play short that you could have taken. If you guys remember the Discord, you guys know those scalps, that scalping strategy pretty fairly well. So you guys could have taken a position there knowing we're underneath the 20 and the 200. But once we got down here again, and this time was going to be 7:50 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, once we got back down into these lows of around 744, we got that initial flush. So that was the first play that I was telling you guys about on the hourly time frame. Then once we put in these new lows here of around 731, 732, we kind of chopped around. We held this area for about an hour's time. We came back up to the 20 here. We got rejected. If you guys are a little bit more experienced, you would know that in a downtrend, we can definitely play the rejections off the 20 until we reclaim, kind of use that as your stop, so forth and so forth. But when we got back down again to that 731, we got the confirmation flush. This is exactly where I took my short position on Tesla for the second trade of the day. Mind you, I already took the first kind of move here, and I was kind of already sitting short on one contract of Tesla here, kind of took some profits along the way when I got them, waited for this thing to retest and get back down to these previous 2 hours lows here. And once we got back down into that 731, I took the initial flush. So this is one thing that I do kind of want to point out here. When you're playing these type of plays, these low of day breaks, these hour consolidation breaks, it's going to break and then it's going to bounce. It's always going to happen. Very, very rarely do I see it just flush on the first move and then just continue going down right after that without some sort of back test. You can see here that we back tested for about 10-15 minutes here, kind of chopped around. You would have gone into a little bit of drawdown. Now a newer trader would get a lot of anxiety, especially playing a stock like Tesla, just due to the fact that the volatility on this thing is crazy. It moves around a lot. The drawdown can be a little scary, and if that's scary for you, then you need to understand that you you're probably oversizing yourself. Maybe stick to another stock until you build up your bankroll just a little bit more. But from a technical point of view, we're still underneath this 20 period moving average. So we're going to continue to hold this trade until we close over. And then once we got the flush, we got the flush. So we went from a price of getting in at our entry on this confirmation, and let's give us a little slippage, 730, let's call it, 729 in this area. And when we got the flush 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes later, it flushed from 729 all the way down to a price of 719. This is a $10 move within a matter of 30 minutes time here. You definitely need to be thinking about scaling out profits here. A lot of newer traders get into these type of trades and they think that, oh yeah, well, you know what, we broke and I could just hold this all day. It's not that type of market. This market's very volatile. Even though it's a downtrend, and even though this is a bear market, the snapbacks, as you can see on this green candle that we just put in now, the snapbacks can be very, very aggressive. Now this can still bounce all the way back up to 730 and get rejected and then continue to flush down. Or, if you have a way of thinking where you kind of got into this trade short and you did not take profits here and you're being greedy, which I recommend staying away from the greed. If you're being greedy here and this does snap back and you think that, oh, we're in a downtrend, we're going to go ahead and continue lower, right? This trade can do something like this on you. Boom, break, back test, and then shoot higher. So definitely you always want to make sure, if you are a day trader, if you are a scalper, we do not care what the stock is going to do 5 hours from now. We do not care what the stock is going to do, 2 days from now. We do not care what the stock is going to do 2 months from now. What we care about is, what is this freaking stock going to do on the next 2, 3, 4 candles? What is this stock going to do in the next 10 minutes? What is this stock going to do in the next 2 minutes? What is this stock going to do within the next hour's time? I want to get in. I want to get profitable. I want to take my profits off the table. That is a day trader, okay? Don't get it confused. We are not investors. We are day traders. Make sure you're taking those profits off the table when you got them. We have the luxury over the investors, meaning that we can play both long and short. So when we get those moves in our favor, we need to make sure that we're taking profits accordingly. Guys, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also join the Discord. That link is down in the description box below. I will see you guys on the next one.